Malik Willis finally off the board. Malik Willis ends up going to the Tennessee Titans, and I will be the first person to admit I really liked Malik Willis going into the draft because we stand by the fact that the overall dynasty fantasy football community is way overconfident with their ability to evaluate these quarterbacks. And what I care about is NFL draft capital leading to opportunity, the situation that player is stepping in, and on top of this, their rushing upside. So if you were looking at people projecting you were going to get Malik Willis as a top 10 draft pick this upcoming season, we are like, okay, well, looks like he is going to have the team investment. Looks like he will get to start games at the next level. And if you looked at his rushing upside, we are like, oh, hell, it doesn't matter if he's a bad NFL quarterback. He can still be very good from a fantasy football perspective, given his rushing ceiling. Everything has changed with Malik Willis. He went from being my 102 in rookie drafts to now I would be surprised if I draft him at all. And I know that seems aggressive. This is very similar to what I think we had in 2019, where the dynasty fantasy football community did a very bad job at adjusting their priors for someone like Hakeem Butler, where a lot of people thought he was going round one of the NFL draft, and he falls way further than anybody expected, indicating there was something going on. And dynasty drafters, they were sticky. They were unwilling to adjust. And they were like, okay, well, Hakeem Butler is going to be a top 5 pick. Now you can get him at the end of the first, the beginning of the second round of your rookie draft. Let's go and draft Hakeem Butler. No, it was a horrendous thought process. And it's going to be the same thing here with Malik Willis. If you think that you can get away with drafting Malik Willis in dynasty, like, let's go through and let's look at quarterbacks that were drafted in the 3rd round. Okay. Just to give you an idea of the odds that Malik Willis will actually start for the Tennessee Titans. The people that are covering the draft are literally just saying things to please the common person. They're talking about, oh, Malik Willis is fantastic. They said he was like the most dangerous weapon outside of Lamar Jackson and Matthew Stafford at the quarterback. Like, they're just spewing garbage. Let's look at some real data. Quarterbacks drafted in the 3rd round last year: Kellen Mond, Davis Mills. Hell, Davis Mills started, but he also wasn't playing behind Ryan Tannehill. In 2020, the no quarterbacks drafted in the 3rd round, quarterbacks drafted in the 4th: Jacob Eason, James Morgan. 2019, Will Grier drafted in the 3rd round. In the 4th, Ryan Finley, Jarrett Stidham. In 2018, quarterbacks drafted in the 3rd round: Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph got a start, but it was because of an injury. Okay, now going to 2017, Davis Webb in the 3rd round. CJ Beathard in the 3rd round. Beathard got to start, but because an injury. Now, let's go to 2016, Cody Kessler. I guess maybe I'm doing a bad job because yet again, he got to start a few games. Jacoby Brissett, oh my God. Am I just completely contradicting myself? You got Sean Mannion in 2015. In 2014, nobody in the 3rd round. In the 4th, you had someone like Tom Savage, Logan Thomas, obviously Thomas, a tight end. Now, you had the hit rate for these 3rd round quarterbacks is just horrendous. If I have to look at where we are drafting Malik Willis now, with the assumption that he will never start over Tannehill, I would be very surprised if Malik Willis starts more than 8 NFL games at this point. Let's pull up the rookie mock draft that we had from this morning and talk about where Willis needs to fall, because after he didn't get drafted in the 1st round yesterday, I really thought Malik Willis would be a player that was one of the first 10 picks today. I thought he would easily be going in the top 40 picks at the minimum in this year's NFL draft. It didn't happen. So if you're looking at the drafts that we had this morning, Malik Willis was still a late round 1 pick. Malik Willis still went at the 112th here. Now, I think Malik Willis easily has to fall behind Christian Watson, Sky Moore, James Cook. I don't know if we can move behind James Cook. He easily has to fall behind Christian Watson, Sky Moore. You can still draft him over Desmond Ridder if you really want to. I mean, if we're looking at the draft capital, the team investment's not that different between the two players, and Malik Willis does have that elite rushing ceiling. We were drafting Jalen Hurts despite him not having the draft capital, because back in 2020, you were able to get Jalen Hurts at the beginning of the 3rd round of your dynasty rookie draft in the end of the 2nd. And at that price point, someone with the rushing upside of Malik Willis, someone with the rushing upside of Jalen Hurts in your dynasty rookie draft, you're all about it. But if it's going to cost you a late round 1 pick, I'm easily passing. You cannot take Malik Willis in round 1 of your dynasty rookie draft this year. I'm probably not taking him until the middle of round 2. And I'd imagine that people reach on him based on our priors, based on everybody, including myself. I had him at the 102 before the NFL draft got here. But I don't know if Malik Willis ever starts a game. I truly don't know if we ever get to see Malik Willis starting at the NFL level based on what usually happens for these quarterbacks that don't go in round 1, that don't even go in round 2. He looks like he is maybe destined to just be a backup quarterback at the next level. Let me pull up the Ryan Tannehill contract. I know they are paying him a surprising amount of money. Let me look at the guarantees with it, because maybe they're trying to set themselves up where they can potentially get out of the Ryan Tannehill contract in a few years. Yeah, so if you look at Tannehill, they are locked into the contract this season, obviously. Looks like the last year Tannehill's really under contract will be 2023. They could move on from him and save $18 million. I don't know if they would want to do that. Obviously, it kind of depends what we see this upcoming season, but I'd imagine that Tannehill doesn't disappoint enough to get just booted for Malik Willis. Let me know if y'all think I'm overreacting, but I would have a very hard time, very, very, very hard time to draft Malik Willis in the first round of rookie drafts, and I would have a hard time drafting him at the beginning of the second. Okay, so Anon says, when will you update your rankings local over there on locals? Literally looking at the rankings right now. That's what I was doing before the Malik Willis draft pick. I'm trying to get them nailed down. We're probably going to create a top 24 rookie ranking update today, have a video coming out in a couple days. And then of course on locals, we go a lot deeper than that. And I hope to have those rankings. I hope to at least have the top 24 nailed down by tonight. And those will be posted over there on locals. You can find the link in the live chat or to the description of the video. But of course, thank you again. I truly appreciate all of y'all. This is probably going to be the last live stream for tonight, just because I'm not going to be going through and streaming about Jalen Tolbert. I'm not going to be talking about Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce, overrated. I will say that, JN. Maybe I'll make a video about Alec Pierce and how overrated he actually is. But of course, thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Drop a like on the live stream, and I hope you have a great day.